This is Billy Blanks, the Typo Creator. You're listening to The Rick Fowler Show.
And now, The Rick Fowler Show. We're going way back. Just hearing the song, it makes you think Rocky Balboa. We are getting ready to call Chuck Wepner, pro boxer, who is in New Jersey. Now let me catch you up here to this guy's story if you just joined us. Chuck Wepner, in 1975, he fought Muhammad Ali. He got beat to a pulp. He went 15 rounds with the champ. And there was a little-known actor who was in the audience. There was a guy by the name of Sylvester Stallone, watched it and said, yeah, this would make a real good movie, huh? Adrian, let's get the pencil. Write this down, huh? Yo, butt kiss, we did it. And so the idea for Rocky was hatched, and Chuck Wepner is the real-life Rocky. So he's a New Jersey guy. We're going to call him now and see if we can't get him on the phone. So hang with us. You're going to hear the dial. You're going to hear it all. Come on, Chuck. Answer the phone. Answer the phone. Oh, it's ringing. Chuck.
Hello.
Hey, Chuck. Rick Fowler here in St. Louis. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
I thought you were going to call me on the other phone, but that's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the cell. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
I want to thank you for agreeing to join us on my struggling show. To have a guest of your magnitude is huge.
Thank you very much. Are you going to call me back in 5 minutes? That's the way it usually works, right?
Well, we've got you on the air right now, sir. Is that all right?
Oh, okay. That's fine.
You're live on the show. Chuck, you work in the beverage industry?
Oh, yeah. I've been 48 years I've been in the industry.
48 years. Let me tell you, this is... I got a couple of co-hosts here. Chuck is not a young man, but he gets up every day and answers the bell, right, Chuck?
That's right.
And still doing it.
No, because the money's good.
Right.
I like the job, actually. I like the people that I work for. I like the people I work with. So it's, I got good customers, and I've got good bosses, and I've been with only two companies. One company for 30 years, and the other one for 18, going on 19.
Wow. You are cut from a different cloth. Do you know that?
Well,
they don't make them like you anymore.
I did that for over 20 years when I was boxing. So I used to get up in the morning, do my road work, come back, take a shower, go to work. After work, I go up to the gym, work out, then go home and sleep.
Wow. Now, for those that don't know, Chuck fought Muhammad Ali in 75. He ended with a pro record, 35 wins, 14-2. Your last fight was in 78. Was it hard to step away?
That's right. Not really.
Yeah.
You know, I had a lot of tough fights. I was never gifted. I was never a gifted fighter who had a lot of skills in the ring. I just trained hard. I could take a good punch, and my condition was my big thing. I was always in great condition, and that's why 41 years after I fought for the title against Ali, I'm still okay, and I'm talking to you. Most of the guys are either gone, dead, or hurt somehow, so I consider myself pretty lucky.
What a tough guy. In 69, Chuck fought George Foreman, and then in 70, you fought the big old bear, Sonny Liston.
Yep.
Who was...
I fought Terrell.
Yeah.
I beat him for 12 rounds for the NABA heavyweight championship, and then I fought Ali in 75, so I fought 4 world champions.
Right. Now here's something. Ali had 61 fights, losing just 5, and he'd only been knocked down 4 times. 3 of those was when he was either up and coming and without the title. The 4th, you guessed it, Chuck Wepner knocked him.
When he was heavyweight champion. He only got to have down when he was champion.
The only guy to do that.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a great punch. I hit him. He pulled away from a jab, and I caught him under the heart with a right hand. And, like I said, it wasn't a great punch, but I caught him off balance and knocked him down. And it was a legal knockdown. A lot of people said that John about stepping on his foot and everything. That could have happened any time. And as a matter of fact, we stepped on each other a lot because I was on top of him the whole fight. I chased him the whole fight. I just wasn't good enough to put him away when I caught up to him.
And you knew that would be his strategy.
Yeah. Well, that's what we hoped we could do. We hoped we could wear him down and tire him out, maybe take him out in the later rounds.
Sure.
But he was still Muhammad Ali. And he was
Absolutely.
A great fighter.
So what did he say to you afterwards? Since you were the one person that did that, did he congratulate you, give you any advice for later on?
We just became friends. I think I saw him maybe 5 or 6 times after that. And the last time was for his birthday, for his 70th birthday in Las Vegas. They threw a big dinner for him. They had 2,100 people there with $10,000 a ticket.
Oh,
the biggest
wow.
celebrity bash of all time.
And Chuck was there?
I got to see him again for the last time in person. Him and Lonnie, a few other of my friends, George Foreman, Spinks. And,
what a great thing.
It was a great night.
Yeah. Now, you originally signed to fight George Foreman. He was the champ in late 74. Of course, Ali beats him in Zaire, but Don King honored the commitment and gave you your shot.
That's absolutely right. As a matter of fact, he sent me out to Salt Lake City, Utah, to fight a guy named Terrible Terry Hinkey. Nobody wanted to fight this guy because he was knocking everybody dead. Anyway, I took him out in the 11th round. I had him down 7 times.
Wow.
And I earned that shot against Foreman. And then Ali went and upset the apple cart and knocked out George in Zaire. But Don kept his promise, and he got me the shot at the title.
Right. That's huge. That's tremendous. Now, for that moment in the 9th, when you put him on his rear end, how excited were you? Did you think, man, this...
As a matter of fact, I walked back to the corner and I said to my manager, Al, off the car, we're going to the bank with millionaires. Al said, Chuck, you better turn around. He's getting up and he looks pissed off. I said, uh-oh. I knew I should have did that. I always had a lot of confidence. I always thought I was going to win. Because you have to have that kind of confidence.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if you heard the story about the negligee. The night before the title fight, I bought my wife a powder blue negligee, and I gave it to her, and I said, wear this tonight to bed because she's going to be sleeping with the heavyweight champion of the world. Anyway, the fight's over. I come back to the hotel room. I walk in the hotel room, and she's sitting on the edge of the bed. She says to me, am I going... We're in the negligee now. She said, am I going to Ali's room or are you coming to mine? He had a real dry sense of humor.
That's good.
But, it's like they said, you see a lot of things that were in Stallone's Rocky.
Right.
Things that I said that even if I don't want to prove I belong in there and all, and I think I accomplished that.
Absolutely. Now, Ali toyed with you. You stretched it to the 15th, and then he finally knocked you down. That was the only time of your career you got knocked down. Right?
The only time. And you know what? It wasn't a great punch. I was just so tired. I mean, that's an hour in the ring, 15 rounds, between 3-minute rounds and a minute in between. I went down, and I got up right at 8, and Tony Perez waved it off and said I looked like I was hurt. But it was the only time I was ever down in my career. And I wish you'd let it go that last 19 seconds.
Right.
I'd say that's possible.
Yep. And a lot of times maybe the refs aren't aware how much time is left, but they're thinking of the safety factor or whatever. Right. I bet you thought.
That's what Tony said to me. Tony said to me years later, he saw me, he said, Chuck, if I knew there was only 19 seconds left, he says, I would have.
He would have let you finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet when you hit the canvas, you said, what is this strange material? My God, this feels like canvas. What is this?
Yep. Well, I went down more or less on my side, on one side, my right side, and I heard the count. I heard him get to 5. I started pulling myself up, and at 8, I just waved it off.
That's it.
Like I said, I lost to a great guy and a great man.
Sure.
And, I was very fortunate to get to know him.
And everybody always likes to make mistakes. Everybody says, why do you think you lost? And Chuck answers it with, well, I lost because this guy was better. Right?
Yeah. I lost because he was better than me. I chased him the whole night. I couldn't catch him. And what people didn't realize about Muhammad Ali was that he took a great punch. He was never knocked out, only stopped one time by home.
Right.
And, and that was near the end of his career. He
Right.
didn't even fight, really, but he lost to a great fighter, too, with Larry Holmes.
I tell you what.
To be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world 7.5 years, 22 title defense. Larry was a great fighter. He didn't lose to no bump.
Yeah. Chuck, my guest here in the studio, Janet, would like to ask you something. Go ahead, Janet.
Sure, Janet. Come on, babe.
Hi, I teach. Let's say we had some young boxers listening, or I have a student that's a boxer. What advice would you give to him or her?
I would say train hard. Do the right thing when you fight, because it'll pay off in the end. There's a lot of guys that maybe cheated a little bit, and they cheated themselves, and they wound up getting hurt in the end. And even when the career was over, they couldn't enjoy it because they were hurt. You got to train and train hard. The reason I trained hard, because I was never, like I said earlier, gifted. I never had all those skills a lot of guys did. I knew if I was going to win, I'd have to win on condition and staying in shape. And that's what I try to do. And that's why 41 years later, I'm talking on the phone, and I'm fine.
Okay, that's what I'll tell them.
What's the old phrase? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right?
Yeah, right. Very good.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
Write that down, Chuck. You learned something on the Rick Fowler Show today. Of course.
I learned a lot of things. You're a nice young man, and I'm glad I'm talking to you.
I appreciate it. Of course, the other part to the story, and there was a little-known actor who was in the seats, and you mentioned that Stallone was out there. And, of course, the Rocky movies are easily the most recognizable throughout the planet. Were based on you.
Right.
What?
Well, it's funny, but they say what goes around comes around. Everybody thinks that Sly and I were, mad at each other or weren't friends. That's not true. He realized it was just business, and we had a long time, and it turned out like it did. I had a funny thing. Right now, we have a movie coming out, the 15th of next month in September. It's called The Bleeder.
The Bleeder.
Liev Schreiber, Naomi Watts, Harvey Keitel, Chris Patina. There's a lot of big people in it, and one of the producers of the movie is Sylvester Stallone.
Right on. So he was glad to be a part of it then.
Yep. So, matter of fact, we're going up to Canada, and they're going to have a big showing of the film up at the Toronto Film Festival on the 10th, and I'm going to be the guest of honor, and they're going to show it to about 300 chosen people, if you might say. But and then the movie goes national across the whole country at the end of October.
Wow. What did he do? Did he call him and say, hey, Chuck, I'd like to be a part of your movie, huh?
No, really, one of his co-producers called me up and told me that they were making a movie, and that the movie was inspired by me. And, it's a funny thing, but after Rocky 1 became such a smash hit, he called me and said, Chuck, he said, I'm writing in Rocky 2. you're going to be in it. I have a part for you, Ching Webber. I have the script right here.
Really?
Ching Webber, I want you to come to Philadelphia and read for this part. I want you to be in the movie because you deserve to be in the movie because you're my inspiration.
Right.
And I went to Philadelphia, but of course by that time, hey, I was Chuck Wepner. I fought Ali, won 15 rounds. They made the movie Rocky about me. And I really didn't read the part as well as I should have, and they didn't use me in the movie.
Wow.
But Salone ran out in the hall after the first reading and said to me, Chuck, I want you to come back in and read it again. I want you in this movie. You know, I think Sylvester Stallone is a great guy. You know, he did as much for me as Muhammad Ali did. Give me a shot at the title. You know, he made me rock. And,
right.
I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great action actor, and I'm happy that I'm involved now in some movies Bleeder, and Sylvester Stallone has something to do with it. Because anything he touches turns to gold.
I grew up watching him, and of course I had the heavy bag and the speed bag in my basement, and for 5 minutes wanted to fight.
I did too.
Janet is pointing to herself saying she did too.
It's my goal to be like Rocky, and one of my friends bought it for my birthday. And
she wanted to be the real deal, Chuck.
I did it.
Well, my wife, Linda is the real deal now. She's the one that's kept me going here the last 40 years. Well, actually, I'm with her 23, but she's a great person for this type of thing because she loves the action, she loves the celebrityism, and she's a good fit for where I am right now.
You know, you're like the Rudy of the Notre Dame that just wouldn't quit. I mean, how does it feel when you go to bed at night and you to be a real life folk hero that the story's based out of? Pretty cool, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You know, just today alone, I must have had 7 or 8 people yelling, "Hey, champ! Hey, champ! Hey, Rocky!" You know,
Sure.
it never stops. It's a great feeling. You know, it's here at Bayonne or anywhere I go. People recognize me, and I like it. It's just, sometimes it's overwhelming because you can't do everything you want. So right now I have 3 different boxing shows that they're asking me to make, and I'm going to make 2 of them. I don't know about the third one.
Right.
The third one is upstate New York.
Well, you have certainly met every expectation that I had. You're everything that we would have hoped that you would have been. You're a really cool dude. Now, I've seen pictures of you. Here's my question for you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Can you still kick a little ass?
Oh, yeah. I can beat any 77-year-old man that I ever saw. Give me somebody my own age. These young kids got a lot of stamina, and I used to win on stamina, and I don't have the same stamina, but I don't go looking for trouble anymore either. I used to like to go to bars and hang at clubs and stuff like that, but I don't do much of that anymore. So
let me tell you, Chuck.
I'm satisfied where I am.
Chuck Wepner isn't bad, but the bad don't mess with him, right?
Yeah.
I got 3
Well,
questions.
I'm still, right now I'm 7 pounds over what I fought for the title at, and I was down at gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't hit the bags anymore. I worked out with the weights.
Right.
And I fought for the title at 228, and I'm 235. So I gained 7 pounds in 41 years.
Dude, you're in great shape. How tall are you, Chuck?
6'5".
6'5", 230. Janet's eyes just lit up, Chuck.
It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
talking to a man's man here, Janet. This guy's the real deal.
Very much.
You know what I try to tell these guys? I try to tell them, if you're going to make appearances and you're going to go here, because I see a lot of guys that they're pretty busted out looking.
Right.
But if you're going to do that, try to keep yourself presentable looking. So that when you go to these places, people say, "Hey, wow, he still looks pretty good for his age." You know, 77 years old. I say I've held my own over the years, and I don't look bad.
Right.
I don't look great, but I don't look bad.
Right. You look better than a whole lot of others. Here's a question, 3 questions before we wrap it up, and we ask this to each of our guests. What does Chuck Wepner listen to? What kind of CDs do you have? You listen to some Sinatra or anything like that?
You want to know something? I was a disco guy. I like to dance.
Yeah.
I was pretty good at dancing. And I always found that it was a good way to meet the ladies.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm with my third wife. Not unfortunately, fortunately, but I like to party and I like to dance, and I love disco sound. I still do, but of course I like Sinatra, but disco was my favorite.
Right on. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
You're on death row. What would your last meal or meals be?
I don't know, probably my mother's stuffed peppers.
Really?
Ooh, those are good.
My mother, I make now, and my mother used to make stuffed peppers where you hollow out the inside of the peppers and they chop meat and rice, the little spices, and I still make it for my kids. And whenever I make it, they're always arguing. My two daughters.
I guess your mom was full-blooded Italian, right?
Well, you know, Linda, my first two wives, first one was Scotch and Irish. The second one was English and Irish, if you can believe it. And the third one is Italian, 100% Napolitan. So,
Wow.
excuse me, Linda is a princess. She doesn't, she can cook, but she'd rather go out to eat. So
Right.
that's what we do a lot. We go out to eat a lot.
Wow. And here's the last question for you. The one person, living or dead, that you'd love to meet or see again.
My mom.
Your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy.
You know, my mother raised us. My mother and father split up when I was a year and a half old, and excuse me, and she raised us, and she was everything to me. My mother was great.
Wow.
And, I'd love to see her again.
Janet is almost tearing up over here, Chuck. That's great.
I tear up too. You know, I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not ashamed to cry at movies and
Right.
stuff like that. Bring tears to my eyes. You know, I'm a great moviegoer, and television. I love television. I advertise all the movies. And hey, listen, if you don't love your mom, boy, you don't love anybody.
Right.
That's right. That's what Rick asked me that question earlier, and I said Princess Diana. 'Cause if I would have said my mom, I would have still been crying and been able to talk.
Wow.
Number one fan, and your mom probably was your number one fan also.
Well, you know, with me, it was my mother because I never met my father until I was 25 years old and fighting for the Golden Glove Championship. He walked into the dressing room and introduced himself, and but I understood because I was already divorced once by that time, and got married when I was 18 years old, and I understood, and we became friends, and you know, I was there. I put him away when he died. I took care of his funeral things, and the same thing with my mother. So,
Wow. That's tremendous. And so how did that meeting go when you met him for the first time? Did it give you any extra?
well, he walked into the dressing room. I was waiting to fight for the heavyweight Golden Glove Championship, fighting a guy named John O'Sullivan, a cop from Staten Island, and he said to me, you know who I am? I said, sure enough, you know. So he says,
Wow.
you know, I'm sorry that things turned out the way they did, because, you know, I've always loved you, but, you know, your mother and I couldn't get along. And my mother never said anything bad about him. You know, she was always said he was a good guy and it's that, but it just didn't work out. So.
And what a credit to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tremendous story.
Especially right before a fight.
Yes.
Way to play off your game.
You want to hear the story? The 2 days before, my father, who was in Florida at the time, living down there, he had already had his second wife, and she passed away of a goiter attack. But he's sitting in a restaurant, and they used to meet, a bunch of the old-time fighters used to meet down in Florida. And one of the guys, this guy, Carl Shemmers, comes in and throws a paper on the table and says to my father, is this kid related to you, or is on the back of the news fighting for the championship? He says, as a matter of fact, he said, it's my son.
Wow.
But he said, what the hell are you doing down here? Why aren't you up there cheering him on for the championship?
Sure.
So he said, well, you know, I didn't know if he even want me there. He said, then all the guys, by that time they had 5 other guys there. They said, you better get on your horse and get the hell up there and make sure you're there. And that was on I think on a Tuesday night. We fought on a Thursday night. And he he went up there, flew up there, and introduced himself, and I won the championship that night. And, you know, we were friends after that. You know, he had throat cancer, and he had been working with it for about 10 years prior to that, and he finally passed away. But like I said, I put him away and made sure people were there for him, and he got buried up in North Bergen, where I had him in the senior citizens building. And even though he lived down in Florida for 20 years, I buried him up in North Bergen, where
wow.
my brother and some other people could see him.
What a good son. Chuck, did you have any weird pre-fight rituals, anything you had to eat or drink, any raw eggs during training or anything on the fight day?
Nah, I didn't.
No.
I just try to make sure that I was ready. That's all, you know.
Because of the Rocky movies, we always had a raw egg before our swim meet.
Yeah,
because of you.
I never ate a raw egg in my life when it was diarrhea. I don't need that in the middle of the
Great
ring.
to know now.
Did you ever drink any, how about any beer or whiskey before you fought, Chuck?
No.
Nothing, yeah.
Well, later on, you know, later in my career when I fought Victor the Bear, that would be in the movie. I was sitting in his dressing room with Art Stott, who owned a bunch of clubs in Florida. I was fighting this Kodiak Bear, 8.5 foot tall, 1,250 pounds. And Artie brought in a bottle of vodka and poured me a couple of shots, and I had my glove on, my boxing glove, getting ready to go out there. So I took a shot of that before I went out there, and it was fun, actually. You know, we raised some nice money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And it went good. As a matter of fact, I fought the Bear twice. It went over. It was such a big hit the first time. I fought him again for Ron Stock. And this time was in his club. He had a big club. He was a club owner. And both times Victor mauled me, throw me around like a rag.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah, who fights a bear?
It was fun. It was like fighting Andre the Giant.
Right.
I mean, the guy was 7'4", 525 pounds.
Right.
You're not going to beat that guy, but you know you do it for money, and you have a good time.
Right. Wow, what a great story. Well, Chuck, I sure appreciate you taking time out with me and my guest, Janet.
Hi, Janet. I hope you had a good time, honey.
Oh, it was great hearing you.
Yeah, what an honor. What an honor. All right, guys.
Anyway, thank you very much for calling me. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate it, and thank you for the wonderful stories and so being so sincere. It's really neat to hear. So you take care. If you ever get to St. Louis, you look up Rick Fowler. I will.
Great town. Great town. Great team. St. Louis Cardinals.
Personally come and escort you through the airport. So.
That's Rick.
Okay,
well.
my friend.
All right, pal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the call. Have a nice night.
All right, bye.
You too.
And that's a wrap.
Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like Woods about referendums? Get finished.
Want to play that I'm getting the f*** out of here.
It's your celebration. But it's much too late for goodbye. Yes, it's much too late for goodbye.
My old friend. Listening to The Rick Fowler Show.
Riot Radio. You found it. Total variety, talk, and music. Streaming live and available on demand. Go to RiotRadioRocks.com for the show schedule and all the info where you can tune in.